Almost Heaven, West Pine, Virginia, Snowshoe Mountain, round number 9, the 2023 historical season in GNCC. 7 different winners. Craig DeLong making himself the first two-time winner of 2023, and he brings his talents to the mountain. Can he keep it going as we're about ready to roll into summer break? It all starts right here, right now on MAV TV.
To go, GNCC Racing!
Hello and welcome to round number 9 of the 2023 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We are here in Almost Heaven, West Virginia, better known as Snowshoe, West Virginia. We begin, as always, with a Specialized race recap. Again, if you saw prior to the episode starting, a historical season in GNCC. We've had up to round 8, we had 7 different winners in 7 rounds of racing, and then came Craig DeLong. Somebody had to be the first to be a 2-time winner in 2023, and it was the 342 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Craig DeLong snagging that honor, if you will. How about it? I gotta make some noise for my buddy Lane Michael. Had a great race going in round number 7. Just a sensational day for Lane Michael early on in that winner. Just impressive. Just a great ride by Lane Michael. I said round 7, I meant round 8. This is the ride I think Lane believes he's capable of. This is the ride, and got to lead for a while as well. But when it all came down to the checkered flag again, Craig DeLong going out there making himself the first 2-time winner of 2023. As we take a look at those results again, DeLong, Michael, Ricky Russell rounding out that top 3.
It was a good day, man. I pretty much rode out front all day. I had a little get-together with a lapper, and Elaine got by me, and I thought it was going to be, that was going to be it. It was super dusty, and I couldn't really get to his wheel, and took me a lap to kind of get used to riding in the dust, and then I tracked him down and just put a lot of pressure on him when I got him. I want to make sure that I was on him, and he ended up making a mistake, and I was able to just kind of squeak by him, and yeah, I just kind of rode out from there. It was a brutal track. It was very difficult to pass and get up on people, and the start was key, which I did a good job of that. So.
Well, we fast forward to today, but first we look at those results. Craig DeLong going to run that reverse plate, your new points leader after the win. Stu Baylor in the 2 spot, Kelly at 3rd. And here we go. Today, the Yamaha Racing GNCC race format. Again, 3 hours now. I will say this start a little different than what we're used to seeing. This is where we pay our respects. We pay homage to the ones who came before us. Of course, I'm speaking about the Blackwater 100. So we start right there. Snowshoe Drive, riders jockeying for position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's more pros than that. There's some XC2 guys in the mix as well. This is a wild one. You know, you don't really... You get the pit boards. You kind of know where you're at on the racetrack. But it's, I don't know if you've ever played Mario Kart back in the day, and they had, I don't remember what world it was, but basically you race the whole race without really knowing what position you're in. I'm not saying that's what Snowshoe's like, because there is a adjusted time that we can look to, but nonetheless, it's a different animal. That's the point I'm trying to make. As our riders making their way into Howard's Hole, Jordan Ashburn and Stu Baylor side by side right there. And if this doesn't speak volumes to just how difficult this course is, look at the struggles by some of our top guys. These are not B riders. These are not C riders. These are your pro riders. There's Ben Kelly in front of Josh Strang right there, the veteran rider. But again, this whole area of Howard's Hole is it's just like nothing else you've ever seen. Lane Michael back there in the mix, trying to get up next to, I believe that was Mike Wachowski in front of him. Josh Toth racing with us at the Snowshoe GNCC, the 206 right there. Awesome to have Josh back out. Love to see it. Well, we're off and rolling. Who's going to take the coveted snowboard from Snowshoe Mountain? We'll be right back after this. This broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAV TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. Well, as we say all the time, GNCC is more than just racing. That's right, we had some live concerts Friday, Saturday night, and oh yeah, we had EMTB GNCC on a Friday night, and I gotta hand it to these guys and the women and the kids, youth ranks. Bottom line is this: Friday we come out, you know, the weather on the mountain's always a little crazy, but Friday it was beautiful until we threw the green flag for the EMTB race where it started pouring rain. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. I think as soon as Ricky Towery threw the checkered flag, it stopped raining. But it made for an incredible race in the XC1 class. Of course, big heavy hitters in that one, Cypress Gorey. Charlie Mullins out there racing this weekend. Now, Charlie not running a full season. He's kind of picking and choosing where he wants to be. Talent Hawk right there, making it look easy, making it look good. Jenny McFall, one of the women's pro riders. Again, maybe you've heard us mention it before, maybe you haven't, but bottom line is, if you run GNCC, you got the e-bike and you want to give it a shot, I promise you there's a class for you. There is the pro class, the pro-am, there are amateur ranks, women's pro class, women's amateur, there's youth ranks, and my personal favorite, they got a big bore class. And I know what you're thinking, big bore. I thought we were talking about specialized e-mountain bikes. We are. We're not talking big bore on the machine. We're talking big bore on the body. If you're a 200-pound plus fella like myself, there's a class for you. Checkered flag flew. And how about it for Charlie Mullins getting that coveted Snowshoe snowboard? There is on screen Jordan Ashburn out in front, the number one, being trailed right there by big Stu Baylor Jr. in the number 2 spot. A couple of guys that have wins under their belt this season. For certain, Ben Kelly looking for his second win. I mean, there's 6 guys out there looking for their second win. Craig DeLong, only guy with 2 wins this season. Points leader coming into today. Stu Baylor still within shot. Ben Kelly within shot. And you know what? Throw in Jordan Ashburn. Right now, he's sitting in a very good position out in front to maybe take his second win of the season. He needs it if he wants to get back in this championship hunt. But again, Howard's Holt, that is just a gnarly section. Here we go with Ashburn and Baylor out in front. But, you know, I think there's a reason. How about it? Grant Baylor behind him. Love to see that. There was Craig DeLong with the reverse plate. And things looking good in the XC1. Got some XC2 riders up there. Cody Barnes. Here comes the rest of the XC2 class. But back to Snowshoe, the conditions. Rocky, slick, wet, just like nothing else. Well, similar to obviously some terrain that we run. But my point is, it is a rough track. You know, it's one of those when you look at it from an outside perspective, you've got to think to yourself, guys like Ricky Russell, Jordan Ashburn, Stu Baylor, it plays in their favor. There's some truth there. I think there's another reason this is the last round before GNCC goes into its summer break. It is demanding of the riders. It's demanding of the machines. It is a race of survival, and my hat's off to anybody who's ever competed in it. There is Liam Draper. Liam Draper having a good run here in 2023. I think Liam Draper on the Ampro Yamaha really finding himself this season and has been able to make some things happen that I know he's been on the hunt for over the last several seasons. So wanted to show him some love out of that XC2 class. And I got to tell you, almost on cue, Ricky Russell, rough and rowdy. You don't have the nickname for no reason. Followed by Craig DeLong. back there, and Stu Baylor, the 514, doing his thing. And again, it is tiptoe. Take your time. Be methodical through these sections. Johnny Gerard, the 969 Factory Red Bull KTM out there doing his thing. And again, Ben Kelly sitting in a good position here today. He would like a win to put him back in this championship hunt, essentially. Kelly coming off a 6th place finish. Stu Baylor, another guy, coming off an 8th place finish in round number 8. That's where we saw Craig DeLong take his 2nd win of the year, and that's what propelled him to be able to take this points lead, this championship lead, in what, again, has been a historical season. I can't downplay that at all. I know you hear different motorsports say, oh, it's been a historical season. You hear the ball and stick sports, it's been a historical season. Sometimes that's just hype, right? We're trying to build a story. GNCC, look no further than the results. 7 different winners. Now, Craig DeLong, the first guy with 2 wins. You come to Snowshoe, and everybody feels like they got a shot to win this. Everybody's coming in with a head of steam. How about the pass right there by Stu Baylor on screen? Making it happen, getting around Jordan Ashburn as our riders follow single file on that outside line, trying to find the fast one and bring it home. Craig DeLong, some troubles today here on the mountain. I got to think not exactly where he wants to be, and there is the 198 of Liam Draper in that XC2 class chipping away at it. So Stu Baylor, unless we miss somebody, I think the 514 Rocky Mountain ATV MC Teely Energy KTM is leading this one out in front, and Jordan Ashburn in hot pursuit from that number 2 spot. Pretty good gap between them and the rest of the pack as they roll through. And Auntie going to give him the pit board right there. Of course, Ben Kelly in that 3 spot with the gap and kind of on an island by himself right now. And Auntie letting him know, hey, you're in 4th. I got you. What a gnarly section. The weather on Snowshoe, it's temperamental. In 1 minute, you're like, I got to get rid of this jacket. I got to be in the short sleeves. The next minute, you're like, where's my jacket? I'm freezing. It can't make up its mind. It rains for 5 minutes, and then it doesn't. But the sun is shining on Stu Baylor. Out in front, Ashburn in the 2 spot, and Kelly rounding out the top 3. We'll be right back. Well, Snowshoe's one of those rounds where it's like, oh, hey, yeah, by the way, we've got some racing to get to, which this is racing focused. Nice little GNCC University, something Yamaha puts on where some young riders are able to pick the brains of some of the top pros in the world. Hunter Hart, Walker Fowler, Johnny Gallagher. And I'm going to speak to it a little bit. I'm not involved in the training. I can't imagine why, but I've seen the results that it produces, and that puts a lot of kids up on the podium on the next day that you don't always see on the podium, and they credit that university. This is not Sasquatch running out of the woods. That is Stu Baylor getting what I'm sure was someone else's ball at the ISDE Golf fundraiser. Jesse Ansley hitting the links. I gotta say, Ansley, the form looking beautiful, baby, beautiful. Caleb Russell, the GOAT, if you will, GNCC out there with Zach O. And how about that Brock Glover in-house with us, representing Dunlop, and cool to have him. He called some racing with us at the GNCCs as well this year. So fun had by all. I think sometimes at the ISDE Golf fundraiser, maybe a little too much fun, but that's not a thing, right? Back to racing in the XC1. Things beginning to develop here as the 514 Stu Baylor courses his way through some of the roughest terrain GNCC sees all season long, and making quick work of it. Again, it's kind of funny. Beginning of the show, we said, hey, who are some of the names? It's a rough track. It's rowdy. It's slick. It's technical. Who does this cater to? And boy, right now, Stu with a big lead on Jordan Ashburn. We'll see. We'll keep our eyes on that one. And new player has checked in. That is Ben Kelly. So Ashburn with some troubles opens a window of opportunity for Ben Kelly. maybe move into that number 2 spot. Let's see who's behind Stu here. Stu with a sense of urgency in his riding style now as he propels himself forward. Still Ashburn in that number 2 spot. How far back is Kelly? Into the pits we go. Now, is it going to be a normal pit stop for Stu Baylor? No, it is not. At least we don't think so. Stu Baylor off the machine. And maybe just, hey, you know what? I'm going to take my time. This race is pretty gnarly. Oh, no, we're going to do a wheel change. Are we? Maybe? Could we be? One of the things you do see at Snowshoe that we don't necessarily see in a lot of other rounds, this is not too uncommon in all reality. I think this is something on Snowshoe Mountain. I think every team, at least from what I've seen over the last several years, every team's prepared to do this. I'm not saying they're not prepared to do this every round because things happen, but this is uncharacteristic of a normal GNCC pit stop. So if you've never watched, you're saying, okay, well, we got a wheel change. No, that's not something typical we see in a 3-hour race. This might be saying, hey, Stu may have said, let's do this. I want to let it eat this last quarter, this last third of the race. I've got a good lead right now. I'm just trying to play out the strategy here. I don't think there was necessarily anything wrong with it. This is where we need Brock Lover commenting on it. But nonetheless, you know what? Stu seemed composed. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know. Boy, that cost him a pretty significant amount of time. So here we go. Jordan Ashburn and Ben Kelly, advantage. How's that going to play out for Stu? Going to be interesting to see. We won't know really till the checkered flag flies. This is a section right here. I believe this is of the FMF PowerPoint. And you know what? You see the several people down there watching. We'll talk more on it in a moment. We'll take a short break. We'll be back. We got a new leader. Snowshoe GNCC. This broadcast of GNCC Racing on MAV TV is brought to you by Specialized. It's you, only faster. And RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready. And welcome back, GNCC, here on MAV TV. You're watching the Yamaha Racing Snowshoe GNCC. And a new leader, Ben Kelly out in front, the 530. Red Bull Factory KTM leading this one. And Ben Kelly trying to be the second man this season to pick up his second win of the year. You talk about slick. Look at the trees. It's like something out of the movie Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there hiding somewhere. Jordan Ashburn trying to get through. Jordan Ashburn with some struggles. We're spinning. Finally, this might have been, that right there might have been why Stu Baylor said, you know what, let's change that rear wheel. I want to be able to hook up, but it's not going to make a difference as Ben Kelly comes in for the checkered flag. So Ben Kelly, now we have 2 winners in 2023 with more than 1 win, and that is Ben Kelly and Craig DeLong. How are the points going to look after this? This is going to be interesting.
It was good, obviously. Started on the front row, and yeah, it was kind of right there in the mix. I had a crash in Howard's Hole, and the guys on the second row caught us all. It's kind of typical because the guys on the first row are kind of a little hesitant, but yeah, they caught us, passed us, and yeah, I kind of struggled the first 2 laps. I softened up my bike to try to get more of a plush feel and kind of missed the mark, and it was super soft in the front, so it was sketchy all over the place. So I stopped, had the guys stiffen up the fork, and then from there I was just better. You know, I could ride smooth, and I was able to pick through the pack pretty good and got a comfortable lead, and yeah, just held it there. Went fast in the fields, the kart roads, and then kept it steady through the rocks, and yeah, that was proper.
All right, well, we heard from Ben. Here comes Jordan Ashburn now. So Ashburn will check in the number 2 spot, and we wait for Stu.
Man, it was brutal. I was coming in today really confident in my bike, and we made some changes, and it was really good, and felt really comfortable all day, and just kind of had some little issues in the Howard's hole. Just about seemed like every lap something happened, like get behind the lapper, they'd crash, I hit it, just something was happening the whole time, but I was losing time over there every lap, but I felt really good on the other side, and felt like I could really race to the other side, and we just tried to make up what we could all day, and BK got out there about halfway through, and man, he was charging hard, and yeah, we tried to reel back in, but second's where we're at today, and I'm happy with everything we've done, and the bike, the team, and yeah, thank you, Lord. It's a wonderful day. I'm pumped. So.
Oh, man, and look at this. Kelly takes first, Ashburn second, and it is Johnny Gerard taking third place here today. Ooh.
Started off riding with Ben, and he was on it. Kind of let him go by, and yeah, I got stuck behind the Lappard and Howard's hole. He was gone. Kind of found myself in my own race. Seen Jordan here coming through the finish line, 2 laps to go, caught him. Passed him, he passed me back. Passed him on the last lap and went over the bars. It was a good battle. Third place overall, it was a good day.
Well, here we go, folks. As it stands, Stu Baylor checked in for a 4th place finish. It's good enough to have a tie for the lead on the season at 178 with DeLong, as Craig DeLong ended up 6th on the day. So not a great day for Stu, but he did what he needed to do to put himself in position to still continue making a run at this championship. So maybe a little mulligan today. And Craig DeLong, hey, you're still tied for the championship after a race that wasn't your best day, but you know what? You're still up front. Ben Kelly, hey, he's knocking on the doors. We're watching that Specialized race recap unfold. Again, Snowshoe, a round like no other. It's rocky, it's slick, it's nasty, it's gnarly. And how about that pass by Stu Baylor around Jordan Ashburn? Just sensational. And big Stu Baylor, was this the call that cost Stu the win? What's that going to look like when we look back at the end of the season? Hey, he wins the championship, forget about it. We're not even focused on it. Nobody cares. But if he doesn't, if he comes up short, you might look back on Snowshoe. We'll see. I don't know. But how about it? Ben Kelly takes the win, 2nd win of the season for Ben Kelly. And just like that, the man is in the hunt for the title. Been a great one, Snowshoe. GNCC, that's going to wrap us up for a while. Going on summer break. We'll be back this fall. I'm Mikey Waynes. We'll see you at the races.